Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm out on the Duke 890, so let's get out there and see what this bike's all about.
As I said earlier, today I am out on the Duke 890, which is the next version up from the Duke 790. And as we start up here, I'm just going to give you my first thoughts and feelings on this bike. First of all, when you start the bike up, it's got a lovely sounding engine, absolutely lovely sounding engine. It's a 900cc engine, 119 brake horsepower, and it's very, very capable. It's very, very nice. The riding position is upright. I'd say the seat is quite firm, but at the moment it's not uncomfortable. I've only been on the bike for a couple of minutes. The mirrors are good visibility and no vibration through the mirrors, so that's nice. Feels like quite a small bike, quite compact, and I suppose it is. It's a middleweight, but you feel very much right over the petrol tank. This has a quick shifter on it, this bike, and the quick shifter is very, very good. It's slightly more clunky, I'd say, than the premium 1290 Super Duke R and the Adventure, but it's not a class leading bike in that respect, is it? So, you know, but the noise out of the engine is really, really nice. So KTM have got that spot on. It's a lovely sounding engine. Little TFT dash, which is nice. It's smaller than the 1290 Super Duke, but it's very visible, easy to read. There's lots of information there, and we'll go through that later. The riding position is upright and comfortable. I feel quite high on the pegs, but it's a relaxed riding position. It's very nice indeed. No problems at all with the riding position. So I think this would be comfortable for a long periods of time. The brakes feel good, the clutch is smooth. Very easy to find the biting point and just launch yourself away at whatever speed you want to go. I am going very steady at the moment because these tyres are more or less slicks on here. But with 119 brake horsepower, it does not leave you wanting when you go to accelerate. It's very, very nice indeed. And at this speed, it's comfortable. No problems at all. It's an absolutely beautiful day out here, guys. Perfect riding weather. Perfect weather for a jaunt out on the motorcycle. Yeah, and I really, really like the engine. The sound of the engine's great as you change down. There's a nice control there. The engine braking is good. Around the roundabouts, it's very nice indeed, very leanable. And when you come out and you want to go quick, you just got to kick that quick shifter, and it's really, really good. Beautiful. So yeah, on the fast roads, guys, this bike is comfortable, capable, whatever speed you need to be doing. The switch gear seems okay. The left and right indicator switch, it's quite good actually. It stands out quite far, and I find that quite easy to hit and find, so that's nice. Yeah, and here we are at 70 miles an hour. Dual carriageway. The suspension is nice and comfortable. We've got WP Apex fully adjustable forks on this bike, and in the current setting they're at, absolutely no problems at all. As we all know, I'm 6'3". Is this bike comfortable ergonomically for a 6'3" rider? Yes, it definitely is. My arms are relaxed and out in front of me, but no problems. There's plenty of space on this bike. Like I say, it feels kind of, I suppose, supermoto-ish almost. You know, I feel very high up. The seat is, I think, 834 millimeters high, and well, it's absolutely perfect for me. And you know, there's no problem with acceleration at all, guys. Like I say, the quick shifter, it's very, very light. It's not quite as smooth as the 1290 Super Adventure or the 1290 Super Duke R, but there's nothing really here to worry about. I mean, you know, you click it up, you click it down. There is a click to it, basically. And the quick shifters on the other two bikes I mentioned, there's not even a click. It's like absolutely featherlight and buttery. So the quick shifter is very good. I'd say it's more like the quick shifter on my 1250 R Sport. This is a really comfortable position actually, guys. Very capable, very quick. And you know, I've got a rucksack on because there's no pillion seat on this bike as it is, but you can get a pillion seat and pillion pegs added. As we slow down for the roundabout, I'm just clicking down on the quick shifter, not clutching at all. Now I have to brake because I've got to stop into first gear. I can flat foot quite easily. So, really, really nice round the roundabouts, guys. Absolutely lovely acceleration, unintimidating, fun, engaging. This is a really, really lovely bike. And like I say, the seat is hard, but it's not uncomfortable as of yet. I'll let you know how we get on with that further on into the ride. But at the moment, no problems at all. Absolutely no problems at all. I can't see that there's cruise control on this bike. There's no controls for cruise. But if it is an option, I will place it up here later on and tell you it is an option. So here we are on the 40. What's it like here on the 40? It's lovely. You can hear the rumbling of the engine. It's a bit more playful, I think, than the 1290 as we come into the 30 mile an hour zone. 30 miles an hour, second gear. Beautiful, beautiful sound from the engine. And it just feels really flickable, really nimble. Great fun. A really, really good fun bike, I think this is. It's very light as well, guys. It's only, I think, 170 kilos or so. And that's wet, so 169, 170 kilos. So it's a lot of horsepower for such a light bike, 120 horsepower. So the screen is very, very clear. We've got the time, we've got the temperature, 23.5 degrees, everybody. Lovely. My range, 100 miles range, gives me that information as well. Obviously the revs, what gear I'm in, all of that information freely available. As I click up on the quick shifter, with absolutely no problems at all. This bike's only done 400 miles, so it's still running in, so we will be taking it easy today. And also, of course, the tyres are semi-slick, basically, so don't really want to push them too hard. Let's test the brakes. Back brake is good. The front brake, yeah, the front brake's very good. There's a bit of dip when you pull hard, but nothing much. And you do really feel like you're sitting almost right on top of the Speedo. Certainly right on top of the tank, or hovering above the tank. Silly thing to say, I suppose. You're always going to be near the tank or hovering above or around the tank, but you feel quite canted forward, let's put it that way. It's coping with the bumps very nicely. down these undulating country lanes. And we're only in road mode at the moment. There is a rain mode, there is a sport mode, and I believe a track mode as well. So there's 4 modes on this bike. Very nice round the lanes, guys. Very nice indeed. It's quite breezy out here today, which is nice because it is quite warm as well at 23, 24 degrees. You want a little bit of breeze also. That's ideally what you would like. It's like a playful puppy, this bike, really. When you twist the accelerator back, it's lovely. The sound and the way it jumps forward. Oof. The way it jumps forward nicely. Just wants to leap into action. But equally the brakes, they did a good job there where I had to stop with a big tractor coming. That was nice. Very nice indeed. This bike has got Brembo brakes. Dual discs in the front, single disc in the back. And they work very nicely. Really good brakes. But yeah, down the country lanes, guys, this bike is just a heap of fun. Absolute heap of fun. And for a middleweight bike, it is quite tall when you get on, but it is quite tall to step onto the bike. But yeah, the engine is just, it's like a playful puppy. Okay guys, so we've done the fast road, which were no problems at all. And we've been down some of the lanes as well, where she's been very, very capable and fun. We're going to stop off now and do the bike walk around and talk about this bike in a bit more detail. I'll see you in a sec. So, this is the bike walk around. This bike is based on the 790 Duke, but it's faster and more refined than the 790. It's got an 890cc parallel twin engine, 119 brake horsepower, 166 kilograms this weighs. And as you can see, we've got Brembo brakes to the front, we've got twin floating discs and a single disc to the back. Also Brembo brakes on the rear of the vehicle. The tyres are Michelin Power Cup 2 tyres. They're semi-slick, and I've had no problems with them so far, but it is dry today. And a lot of people have told me that in the wet you wouldn't even dream of taking this bike out. I've been riding it so far in road mode, in street mode, and that's been fine. And I'll switch on the sport mode on the way back, and we can see how that changes things. You've got fully adjustable WP Apex forks. The seat height is 834 millimeters. Now, again, this is a middleweight bike. I would expect it to be quite accessible and easy to get on. I do feel like I've got to swing my leg quite high, and when it comes to flat footing, I can flat foot. I'm 6'3", but I think if you're a little bit shorter, you're going to need a lower seat. Also within the bike, it has got a quick shifter up and down. It's very good, the quick shifter. It's not as smooth as the Super Duke R, the 1290, or indeed not as smooth as the Super Adventure 1290 that I tried earlier on in the season. But it's still very, very good. And I'd probably put it on a par with my own R1250R. It's kind of working as well as that, I would say. So very, very good. Excellent quick shifter. Up and down, that is. This bike has got 4 rider modes. So it's got Rain, Street, Sport and Track. And we'll go through that in a moment on the TFD screen. The switchgear is pretty similar to the other bikes of KTM I have ridden. So no problems really with the switchgear. The indicator, I think it's very good actually, the indicator. It comes out quite far and it's quite easy. And one of the biggest endearing factors of this bike so far to me is the engine sound. It's really, really nice. It sounds so sweet. You're very upright on the bike. You feel like you're leaning over the tank, over the front of the bike. Under heavy braking, you do get some dive off of the forks, but overall, it's a very, very comfortable riding position and no problems at all as far as I'm concerned so far. This bike is really very good. The tank is 15.4 litres. There's no rear seat or pegs on this bike, but I am told by Ben at KTM that you can get seat and pegs without too much hassle. The bike comes with a 2-year warranty. It's Euro 5 compliant, and we would say the main rivals to this bike is the MT-09 and the Triumph Street Triple. So that's the facts and figures out of the way for you. Now let's take a little bit of a walk around the bike and see what you think about it. So obviously we've got the white and orange. You've got the orange wheels on this one, and they really are very, very bright, aren't they? Very bright indeed. This exhaust is very, very different. I don't know many more bikes that have this kind of exhaust, this upheld exhaust like that. It's very, very nice. There's the front wheel with the twin discs and the Brembo brakes. We've got the WP Apex forks. As you can see, this is the KTM 890. As we sweep round to the front of the bike, again we have a version of this very distinctive headlight. You've got LED lights up the top here. Indicators, LED front light. The front brake has got settings on it, so you can set it to soft, hard and medium, I would say, and you can have a play around with that and suit that to how you want. It's a really, really distinctive looking bike. The ride is lovely, guys. I mean, for a middleweight, it really holds me very well. I'm 6'3". I've got no problems with the size of the bike. I'm not cramped up at all. It's a very, very nice riding experience, and like I say, the engine just wants to go. It's a lovely sounding engine, and yeah, overall I'm very, very impressed with the bike so far. Obviously this bike is chain driven, and if we get down here we can see a bit more into the rear of the bike. You've got the shock absorber there, 890 Duke. Yeah, it's a really nice looking bike. You've got the pillion seat cover here, as you can see. So you can get a pillion seat for the bike, no problem at all. That's the bike from the rear. And as we come round, aesthetically, this completes the bike walk around. Okay, now we're going to get on the bike and go through the screen. Okay, so here we are with the screen. Turn the bike on, ready to race. And here on the screen we have obviously the revs, the gear, top left we're in neutral, the time, the temperature, trip, the range, and that's pretty much it for the front screen here. Then if we come across here and we push the set button, that dives us down into the menus: favourites, trip data, ride modes and motorcycle. The rider modes, which is probably the biggest thing you guys are going to be interested in, is Sport, Street, Rain and Track. I've tried Street and now put it in Sport, so on the ride back to Gym Aim I will try the bike out in Sport. But the road mode so far has been really, really fun. Nice bike, nice control, no issues at all really, to be honest with you. So to come out of this we push the back button here, Push the back button, and out we come. Then we've got favourites, which has got information here, which you might want more regularly. I'm sure you can amend these, I would imagine, but ride mode, the trip time, fuel range, and MTC and MSR. Push the back button, the trip data, lots of information there for you. Extra functions, we go in there, KTM My Ride, Quick Shifter Plus, MSR, anti-wheelie, slip adjust, launch control, track mode. So we'll use the back button again, and the back button again, and the back button again. That brings us out to the main screen. So the switch gear, I'd say, is really very good. I especially like the indicator. It's quite far out, and it's really good and easy to use. So I like that. That's really good. The horn, let's listen to that, shall we? It's the same on every bike, I think, pretty much. With the exception of the R1250 RT, every single horn sounds the same. And then over here, all we've got is the start-stop button. And that's pretty much it. And a brake. So it's pretty basic, really, guys. There's not too much to be thinking about while you're on the go. Not too many controls. Up the front here, we have got the headlight button to flip forward and back. And to flash. Okay, so talking about the light, let's get off and show you the light, and also let's see what the exhaust sounds like. This is the main light. It's so bright out here you probably can't even see it, to be honest with you, but that's the main light. That's then full beam. And what do the indicators look like? Let's see, shall we? Indicator 1, indicator 2. So let's start her up and see what she sounds like, shall we? Listen to that. That is the standard can, guys. And that sounds absolutely superb, absolutely terrific. Okay, so guys, we have done the bike walk around, we've done the country lanes, and we have done the faster roads. Now let's see what she's like on our way back to Jim Aim. Yeah, the bike feels very, very capable, first and foremost, for a middleweight. You know, you definitely don't need more power than this bike delivers to you. We're now in sport mode, and you can definitely feel she's a lot more perky. Not to say that in street mode she isn't perky, she's completely capable in street mode. But sport mode, yeah, she's also very, very nice. So, yeah, guys, on these 60-mile-an-hour roads, these sweeping lanes, she's really performing nicely. It's very different to anything I've ridden before, to be honest with you. You know, the high feet, it's really very nice. It's quite narrow in between your legs and easy to get into the bike. The mirrors are good, the ergonomics of the bike are very good. It's really flickable, it's very, very light, and no real problems at all, guys. On this beautiful country weather. Yeah, the power's there to overtake, guys. It's really very good. 119 brake horsepower for a bike. This light is absolutely plenty. You're not going to have any problems overtaking or maintaining good speeds on the motorway. The only thing I really miss is the cruise control, which I will find out and see if it is an option. Plenty of engine braking, absolutely plenty of engine braking. And one other thing I forgot to mention on the bike walk around actually is the fact that this has got valves that point out at you. So when you're putting air in the tyres, it's a little bit easier to carry out that job, which is nice. But yeah, down these Down these little lanes, guys. Oh, and the sound of the engine, it's just lovely. Absolutely lovely. Good balance on the bike, good balance. And then off she tears. Oh dear. It's really good fun. I'm really enjoying this. Super fun out here today, guys. And I very much hope that this video is giving you a good idea about this bike, but obviously do leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about the review. And if there are any bikes out there that you want me to review in particular, guys, then please do let me know. But yeah, it's really nimble, the bike. It almost feels like you're not riding anything. It's so strange. And like I say, the seat is very firm, guys, but still, an hour into riding, no problems at all. Absolutely no problems at all. There is a hole in the road. Oh my God, that was a hole. Yeah, so look, we're really getting into things with the bike now, into the twisting around these little lanes. It's really at home, completely at home here, guys. You know, as I roll off the throttle, the engine braking is really good. The back brake's a little bit soft. I'd like it to be a bit more firm, but I suppose the front brake is the main brake, really. Back brake's just for kind of gently readjusting things, whereas the front brake is the stop. Yeah, but really lovely out here today. No problem getting my phone mount onto the bars either. Nice wide bars, nice comfortable bar position. I'm going left here, guys. I am fully in the control of sat-nav. I have no idea where I'm going now. Hence my slow speed. These are very narrow lanes though. But like I say, the bike feels really at home, nimble, easy. Even though they're small lanes, I don't feel like I'm going to run out of room. You know, it's a really lovely riding experience. And the rumble of the engine is exquisite, really. Just KTM have done a really good job with this bike. It's such a fun riding experience. And I think it's definitely giving you something different to what the other bikes would offer you in this range. So, you know, definitely if you've got time, guys, and you're in the area, do get yourself out to Jim Aim and try this one out. It's really good fun. And again, for a bike in this range, it's got good tech. Lots of great things going on. But I think the main thing is when you ride a bike, you want it to be fun. You want it to put a smile on your face. And this bike definitely does that. It definitely does that. There's no question about it. There are some things missing off of it. It's not perfect. Like the cruise control. No heated grips. No sign of a hazard light either, actually, which is a bit strange. I'll have to figure that one out when I get back, maybe. I'm not going to look too much now. But I'm sure they'll point them out to me in no time at all. But yeah, on these little country lanes, guys, when I'm on my bike, on my 1250R, I don't really like these lanes. They're a little bit too small. But with this bike, with the way the engine brakes for you when you roll off so strongly, it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely superb. So in conclusion, guys, this bike has really been an absolute pleasure to ride today. I just want to say a big thanks to Ben at Jim Aim KTM in Braintree. You know, a really easy bike to ride, something different. I've not ridden a bike that's kind of styled like this before, or the seating position is in this way. It's very high for a middleweight bike. I think it's a very high position, very straightforward, but very, very comfortable, really flickable. The engine is great fun, lots of grunt, really quick. Nice tech on the bike for safety. You know, it goes into the bends without any problems at all. The quick shifter is absolutely like, well, it's like butter really, the quick shifter. It's really, really nice. As I say, not quite as buttery as the 1290 Super Adventure S or the 1290 Super Duke, but it's, you know, it's up there, and it's probably as smooth, if not more smooth, than my own bike. And when you open the throttle, she really flies. She absolutely flies. And the sound of the engine, you know, I feel like I'm quite high up. My knees are quite high up, but dead straight, to be honest with you. I mean, my feet are almost going, not straight down, but I don't know, it's a bit strange. The pegs are quite high on this, and getting my leg over the bike, it's quite high. But once you're on, you know, the mirrors are good. Everything does what it's supposed to. Your indicators, they're working, no problem at all. The switch gear is fine. You know, no problems with the switch gear at all. Just really nice, really, really nice. This is a key ignition, and that's not a problem at all. No issues there either. So yeah, I mean, overall guys, a very, very nice ride out today in this beautiful weather. A different style bike that I've not ridden before, but really, really enjoyed. So, you know, if you're looking at the MT-09, if you're looking at the Triumph Street Triple, then this is something you should also definitely consider. You know, the brakes are good. It's all premium parts. It's Brembo brakes. The brakes work very nicely indeed. On the odd occasion when I do shift and use the clutch, it's very smooth. I can flat foot, but as I flat foot standing here at the roundabout, it's quite a long way down. It's quite a long way down. So I don't know if they do a lower seat, but if you're shorter than 6 foot, you could possibly struggle to flat foot on this bike. But yeah, really, really nice bike, guys. Really, really nice, guys. And the throttle response is good. Just no complaints, really. You know, for the price point, we're starting at about £10,500. I'll put the exact price up here, but that's roughly the start point, 10.5 grand. And yeah, on all roads today, on the tiny little back roads, on the 50s, 60s and 70s, in town on the 30s, just a really easy, nimble bike to ride. I think the only complaint I would have is that the tyres, apparently they're very good in the dry, but not very good in the wet. I don't really think I'd want to buy a bike where the tyres wouldn't work in all weather, being here in the UK. So I'm not sure if that's something you can change, if you can get different tyres. But to be honest, owning a bike in the UK which comes with stock tyres that aren't any good in the wet doesn't seem like a very sensible idea to me. But yeah, when you trust the throttle, guys, in sport mode, very, very good. Very, very good indeed. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's try out the track mode, shall we? So we are now in track mode. Let's see how this responds. Yeah, that's quick, guys. Super quick in track mode. What a brilliant bike, really. What an excellent, excellent machine. As we come round the roundabout. But in track mode, this thing, it really, really, it rides superbly. Absolutely superb. I think I've said pretty much everything I want to say about the bike. Over the bumps, even in track mode, you know, it's not a problem. Absolutely beautiful bike. And there's loads of tech on the bike. I mean, I didn't hardly go through the screen at all. There's no time really on a first ride, guys, but there are lots of technical reviews out there that will give you everything you want to know about the bike. I'm really just jumping on today to let you know what is it like for somebody who's never ridden something like this before. Absolutely fine, really good fun, and you'll get used to it in no time at all. Round the roundabouts is really good, sticks nicely, it's grippy, and very comfortable really for a middleweight bike, and it's very well behaved. So yeah, no problems at all on the bike today, guys. Really enjoyed this one. So once again, guys, thanks very much for coming along with me today on this ride out on the 890 Duke R. To those of you who have subscribed, thank you very much indeed, really appreciate it, guys. To those of you who are coming across the channel for the first time, welcome. Please do leave me your comments and have a look around, guys. And as always, when you get out there on your own bikes, guys, please do make sure you ride safe. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks very much indeed. Cheers now. Bye-bye.